So, welcome. This will show you how to basically find a large variety of resources, how to basically refine Google searches, because that's probably the one we use most. But there are many more powerful ones, such as using the databases that are provided through the schools that we attend, being Moorpark, Ventura, and Oxnard. And then additionally, there's a really great one called O'Reilly that is also through the schools and has a whole database of zillions of textbooks, and we'll kind of get into that. But first, we'll start with how to do some stuff with Google. So with Google, you might have seen some of these before, but there are actually some search operators. I think they are referred to as search engine optimization. And so just going through a few of these operators, I guess, they just kind of change and manipulate your search. So if you're looking up something and you add a dash before the word, that will actually ignore that word from the result. So let's say you're looking up video games, but you don't want any Halo to show up. You can search video games dash Halo or minus Halo, and that will basically remove all searches having to do with Halo. You might have to get a little more specific than that, but just a quick example there. Another thing is if you add quotes around a word or a phrase, it will match as many exact words as possible. So let's say you're looking for a car, maybe a specific brand, and a specific type of that brand. So let's say Honda Civic. You can look up cars and then do Honda Civic, and that will return basically any kind of searches that have specifically Honda and Civic together, right? Um, like that phrase of Honda Civic. Another thing is you can add two periods between numbers or dates, and this will return searches between those two numbers. So I don't know, maybe you're looking up something history-wise, and it's only between 1920 and 1930, or maybe it's more general, and you want to refine it to only the decade of 1920 to 1930. You can do 1920 dot dot 1930, and it should hopefully refine your search between dealing with data or whatever results between those dates. And then another thing, you maybe have done this before, which is dealing with money and like switching currency. If you just add the money sign, like the US dollar sign, maybe the euro sign, or other things, it'll kind of either return those prices or maybe return the conversion of that money. And a last one, maybe you guys also know this one, the asterisk, which we all know as like, all kind of, or like whatever that book is. Never mind. I'm going to skip that. But the asterisk is it will search and it will replace basically. So let's say if you have a phrase, but you want to replace that word with any other word or phrase, you just delete that word and put an asterisk. So let's say having a blank time, it will return results with all different kinds of things like having a good time, having a bad time, having a fun time, having a whatever, and it'll just basically replace that asterisk with other results that contain the rest of that phrase. Another thing is you can do Boolean searches or Boolean operators like the or and, so you can type capital OR or capital AND. You can also use just like in programming, you can also use the ampersand or the bar, the straight bar thingy. I think you should only use one though. And then that will returns results based off that. So let's say you're looking for a recipe that maybe contains, maybe you have noodles and maybe you have rice, and you're looking for a recipe that either deals with noodles or it deals with rice. If you look up noodles or rice, it will return results with either noodles or either rice. Similar thing if you have noodles and rice and you want both of them to be in a recipe, you can look up noodles and rice, and it should return results that include both noodles and rice. Another thing is for more complex stuff, which this is probably the best thing to do, is to really refine the results, is to have more complex things, is to group terms with the parentheses. So let's say you're looking for gas, and you have a Shell or a Chevron card. So you want gas that's only Shell or only Chevron. You can look up gas and then in parentheses do Shell or Chevron, and that should hopefully return up gas results of only shell or of only chevron. And you can do similar thing with and, etc. A pretty unique one is this one called around, where if you do around and then a number, it will try to find results where terms are closely related to another by only that much. So let's say you're interested in an article about Tesla versus Edison, and you do Tesla around 3 Edison. That will hopefully return results where the words Tesla and the words Edison are around 3 words from each other, so that they're very close by. And just an example, maybe it'll return Tesla v Edison, so that's around 3 characters close by, right? So if it's like Tesla blah 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 blah, blah all these words, and then Edison later, it probably will not show that because it's not around that close by match. And then of course, again, you guys probably on some of these, like the built-in searches, like near me, open now, stuff based on price, kind of stuff like that. There's just that. And I completely forgot to share this. Sorry, let me share this with you guys. And also here, I just have a couple of the resources that I used to kind of create this. There were just a couple articles that have different operators or different like examples of them. So just to help you out with some more things, there's that. All right, getting into some more of the more refining stuff. There's a bunch that basically use the colon. So the colon has a special function to it. Basically, like any term after it will kind of search for that. So let's say you're searching for a definition, you can do define colon, and then whatever that term may be. So define California or what I don't know. I forgot the word. Shit. Sorry. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway, you can define stuff. You can find synonyms. So you type synonym colon, and search the term after, and it should give you results of synonyms of that term. Another, probably one of the most useful ones is using the cite. So if you use cite and then you have I guess it's a little different, but let's say you're searching for something, especially with encoding. I'm sure we all know Stack Overflow. Maybe the site's Geek for Geeks, or the other one that does like C++. And you only want that specific site. You're going to search for your term, whatever the question maybe is, and then you type cite and then put in the specific site or domain after the colon, and your results should only return results from with that site. A couple other ones is when you Google, there's like those little snippets of text that they kind of show you like a little overview or like snippet of it, right? You can do in text actually, and so if you use in text and you search for this term, it will return results where whatever that you search for is in that little snippet of text, and it may or may not be within the title of whatever it is, like the article or whatever. It might be in the little snippet of the article. So it can kind of help refine all that. And then same thing with all in text. It is similar, but it returns all those words within the text. And just for, I guess maybe for like all in text, you probably want to use the quotes to make sure that whole phrase is there. But I would probably use that for all of these to make sure that specific phrase is returning the right results. And then the opposite, in title and all in title. So if you do that, it will return results where that term you search for is specifically in the title, right? So in the like hyperlink or whatever that you usually click on that takes you there, it will return results where that specific thing is specifically in the title and may not be in the body, the little snippet of text. And then same thing with all in title, returns all those terms within that title. Another one is related, where it searches for a site or domain, returning results that are related to that site or domain you give it. So I have examples we'll go through, but I'm just kind of going through them as well. So let's say you're doing maybe Stack Overflow. you search for a question, but maybe you want a different forum, a different, computer science or code forum. You can do related, Stack Overflow, and hopefully it should return kind of similar or related sites to Stack Overflow. And then in URL, similar to in text and in title, this will search for the term you put and return results with that term specifically in the URL, right? So the URL is like usually green. So sorry, maybe I should have gone this like usually the title is like blue, right? And then there's a URL that's kind of green, and then it has that little snippet of text that's usually gray. So in URL, it will specifically search for a URL that contains that name. And this one can be quite powerful. If you know how to, if you know URLs and how they work and how websites work, you can probably find a really specific link and potentially even find a link that doesn't appear otherwise, right? Like that doesn't appear maybe even through the website, but it returns that, specific URL that exists. It just doesn't show it otherwise, maybe. And then again, date range is another useful one for searching for dates. However, this one is quite weird, and it actually uses the Julian date format. Although I think some of these get updated, so I think maybe it also works with like our regular date format. But the Julian date format is actually the year in 4 digits, and then the day in 365. So in January, right, the first day would be day 1. But then if you're going into February, how many days are there? 31 in January? I can't remember. So let's say if you're looking at February 1st, you're going to type 32 and etc. up to 365, or on leap years 366, I guess. I don't know how to handle that, but date range. Another powerful one, file type. PDFs, images, whatever. Like if you're searching for something specific like that, you just type file type, and it will return results with that specified file. So if you look up PDFs, it will return results that are links to PDFs. Search for images or like whatever .png or maybe .jpeg or whatever. Return those specific types. Another one is in Anchor. And this one's, I guess, a bit weird. It's similar to maybe in text or in title. But it searches for that term, returning results that term is inside a hyperlinked text, maybe of that article or of that page or whatever it is, but specifically searches and returns results with like that hyperlinked text, with that term in that hyperlinked text. Same thing with all on Anchor, just returns all those terms in there. Another one, I'm not sure, maybe it has some use. I'm sure it actually has some use, but using cache. This will search for the most recent version of a cached web page of whatever you're searching up. That one might be a bit weird. A couple other ones, weather, maybe you're searching up the weather, whatever, just type weather of location or whatever, or return the weather. Stocks, just type stocks and type the whatever, maybe the I don't know, the brand or the numbers and letters that like represent it in the stock, whatever that's called. All right. And a few more. There is map. So if you want to look for the map of a certain place, you can do map, and it should hopefully return the map of that location. Movie, search for movies. That one's maybe a bit more overkill because movies are pretty general. And then source might be a bit weird too, but it should search for about a news source with that term. So hopefully bringing results that are more I don't know, maybe more trustworthy or more like news blogs or articles, etc. And then same thing with blog URL. So if you're looking for a blog on something, you just type it in and should return results with that blog URL. And then there's loc and location, which I think kind of work or maybe don't. But it was one I just thought of to add that, I don't know, if you're searching for some details on a given location, just type in location. So those are a whole bunch of some of the operators. So there are some of these signs and some of these things with the colon, and you can basically use all those to really refine your search, to really like find something instead of just Googling it and getting whatever Google wants to show you in the top page, right? Especially in the top page, right? Because that's all, you know, paid for stuff in quotes or whatever. How, so just some examples. You're interested in AC, and you only want to look up AC between Tesla or maybe Edison. So you can look up alternating current and do Tesla or Edison in parentheses, and it should return results. I'm actually going to go ahead and I will go ahead and try these. So we can go ahead and Google some of these and see what kind of results we get. So in Google here, yeah, I'll just do it like this. Just go ahead and do that. And now we just get a whole bunch of stuff about AC with Tesla and Edison. Doing another one, let's say you want Tesla, but you want to know the person Tesla, not the car company Tesla. You can do minus motors, minus car, minus battery maybe. And go ahead and search that up. And you can see how some of it is iffy, but it returns stuff with Elon Musk, I guess. But otherwise it also, and I don't know, maybe some stocks. But it should get rid of anything to do with the motors or the cars maybe, or the batteries. Just going through another one. Using that around, we want to search for specifically Nikola Tesla and specifically Thomas Edison around, well, maybe change that. Let's do like around like 5. But, yeah. So here are some results, and we've got Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. Those are about 3 words apart. Again, just kind of 3 words apart. So they're around the 5, like, I don't know, distance or whatever between them in the sentence or in the search. So here we got Edison, Westinghouse, and Tesla. So that's a couple more words, but they're more close by in that search. All right. Let's say you're doing recycling and you don't want Twitter to pop up on recycling or like a TikTok or something stupid. You only want real stuff from the government website or maybe EDU. You can just do this and it will return sites with .gov or sites.edu. So here you go, recycle.gov, recycle.gov, .gov. Okay, all these are .gov. I'm sure we can find an educational one. There we go, .edu. And so educational website .edu, Harvard. There's that. Here's one I just thought of. It's kind of weird to think of some things, but all in text. So here it should have the best band in the text here. And there we go. You can see it says the best bands in the text. I mean, it also says it in the title. Well, technically it says top 10, but the best bands. It has the best. And the best band. So again, in the little text thing there. And we can go in title. I mean, this one's pretty. This one probably happens the most because that's what happens in the title. Elon Musk. So I tried to do both Tesla and both Elon Musk, and here you can see. Well, we got one result. That's a really refined search. So this one has both Elon Musk and Tesla. And some of these can be a bit wonky, but they're just, I guess, exist to attempt to refine searches, attempt to really bring you better results and stuff like that. All right, and then I guess we can skip that one in title. We already did this one. All right, here we go. Now we want to search for arrays or vectors, but we don't want an answer from Stack Overflow. We can do this. It's once you do this enough times, it's gonna make sure you're not a robot. And so there we go. Vectors arrays from CIS, arrays developer docs. No Stack Overflow in sight. And that's just another site one. We can skip that one. Let's do this. So here, maybe we can do replace this guy. So we'll search for arrays or vectors in a related site from Stack Overflow. So here we go, mathematics.stack.exchange. So that's a different forum, but maybe not exactly what we wanted because it's math, but it shows a related site to Stack Overflow. And just another quick one, synonym. Boom, show synonyms. Easy. All right, and here is this one. Let's do this big boy search. So we're looking for dynamic memory and related to Geeks for Geeks or Stack Overflow. So here we go. We got static and dynamic memory. Dynamic memory, and obviously those two are Geeks for Geeks and Stack Overflow. But here's one, Wikipedia, talking about dynamic memory and more. And that pretty much covers it for the Google part. So hopefully, I mean, some of these help to, you know, maybe you'll find use with these one day when you're just really trying to find an answer and it's just whatever you're searching regularly just isn't coming up. You can try some of these and it might help. It might not help. Hopefully it helps. But moving on to a bit more educational or article, journal / stuff. If you guys don't know, through the sister schools, we have a whole bunch of databases. So I'll show you through Ventura, but basically you just go through the library here, and you should just click databases, and it'll show all the databases we have, and I think we have about 78. So just show up the same. So here on the Ventura website, let me make sure I'm okay. On the Ventura website, just click on library here, and we should be able to click on databases. And here, okay, you guys have different databases than us. Weird. But here are all the databases, and just to show you some of the most popular ones, I did a research paper recently for English, and so these are some of the ones I used for it, being Gale Academic OneFile. This is a bunch of peer-reviewed articles from academic journals in basically all of STEM and arts and stuff. So, so articles, and then there's EBSCO Academic Search Complete, which is a basically database with full texts of whatever it is. So they have usually full text, like full maybe research papers or journals and stuff like that. And then there's also JSTOR, which is just another scholarly journal. That's a weird word. Another one with journals. And so just to quickly show one, Academic Search Complete is right up here, and you can click through, but there's a whole bunch here. But these are just some of the big ones. So then here's EBSCO, which I guess is just different name. And then Gale and JSTOR. So let's just go through. Let's do Academic Search Complete. This one is really nice because they have full on things. So I'm going to go to you guys now. Give me something to, well, first you have to sign in with VCCD. Don't want to change my password. Give me something to search up, and we'll try to find some texts of it. Give me a topic. Go.
TensorFlow.
TensorFlow. All right, once I log in, if it's going to log me in. All right. Let's just go to the basic search for now. But even so, within these databases, there are some of those similar things where you can use the quotes. Maybe the dash might work. But there's also the advanced search, which we were just at, that has, a bunch more options where it has like these Boolean things as well. Some fields, text, author, more stuff. But we're just going to go this and do TensorFlow. You can see it filled in already. And here we go. We have 438 results relating to TensorFlow. What I like to do is limit my search because some of these don't have the full text for some reason. So I just click on full text and it will update that. And there's a bunch of other filters or things to refine it, from dates or whatever. So here we go. We can just click the full PDF. And here's a full research paper. So we can see it's from a university somewhere else. I'm not sure where Sakarya is, but yeah, it was written by this guy. So there's the whole abstract, some stuff like that, and here it is, a whole intro and whole basically a whole research paper. Very dense, but I mean, it has some really, really good information. Just to explain, I did my research paper on 3D printing, so I was going through a whole bunch of 3D printing related research papers, journals, articles, and there's just some wild stuff. And here you can see that they even have their references, so they're a bit more trusted because they got all their stuff from all these resources. And also to mention, these guys are mostly primary sources, I believe, or can be used as primary sources. I think it kind of depends because these are really technically the primary sources, but this guy did his work and his research to write this article for you to do your research. So there's that. So if anyone knows what any of that means, there is stuff on TensorFlow. Want to try another search? Maybe something a little less dense? Anyone got a topic? Maybe. All right, just one I can think of is recycling. But here we go. 23,000 articles, full text articles or journals or whatever on recycling. So here, we'll look at this one. Recycling using nanographene oxide filters. Recycling water. And here's just a whole journal on it. Or a whole paper. And so here you go. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people contributed to this paper. And it's from the Hindawi Journal. But yeah, here's some stuff on filtering water with nanographene oxide. Can look into that. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Really, really useful. It just has, if you really want the most in-depth kind of stuff, if you want the details, if you want the experiments, if you want, the data, this stuff really returns some of the most in-depth and, organized kind of stuff because they have to be like this, where they have abstract and introduction, the methods and this kind of a flow, and then, a conclusion with all of their references and resources. So really, really useful. And again, that's just in the databases from the library that we have at all 3 schools.
Can you look up gallium nitride?
Sorry?
GALLIUM.
Oh, is that one you want me to try?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, spell that again.
GALLIUM. Gallium nitride. Yeah.
And we can click full text to make sure we found that. Humidity sensor. Check it. Man, my internet is slow.
My semiconductors teacher was telling me about this today. It's supposed to be a new alternative they're doing research on to try to replace silicon since we're so
interesting. That's kind of
since
wild.
we're so critical.
Yeah, that's kind of wild because if you know anything about silicon is just it's just perfect for electronics. Just like its structure and stuff and details. But yep, here's a I don't know, 20-page maybe article or thing on gallium nitride, and here's all the people in it, the people who contributed. So very, very in depth, very yeah. All right, let's look at this. Breathe. Meat. Inkjet. Oh, that's pretty cool. Inkjet printing. I kind of learned about that. But anyway, yeah, there's some crazy stuff. I mean, and then there's all this, depending on who did it. But I mean, there's a variety of in-depth stuff. Here's I think these are electron scans of something. So, pretty crazy stuff. Graphs. Who doesn't love a good graph? So it's really it's just really great. I mean, when I was researching, I just found so much stuff that I just didn't even think about or didn't take into consideration. Like there's a lot of research out there, and it's honestly our job as students to find this research, to bring it to light, to make sure that the research didn't happen for nothing really. So again, there's a ton more databases here, but those are kind of the big three we used. There's some more history maybe related stuff, or business, but yeah, that is that. And moving on to the last one is O'Reilly. So hopefully you guys have this at VC, but we definitely have this at Moorpark, and it's probably one of the most underutilized thing ever. They have a whole database. This thing says there's 35,000 full textbooks. Well, I guess it says books, videos, and tutorials, but I guess a majority of them are full-on textbooks. So have you guys have heard of the book Automate the Boring Stuff with Python? Anyone heard of that?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
all right. Well, it's right on there with O'Reilly for free. So you can look up by subject, which is probably the best. Us being CS, you can look up languages: C, C++, Python, Java, Rust. You can look up other things like Linux, networking, digital logic, and many more. And these are just some examples. But let's see if you guys have it. So it should also be here under databases. So
Do they have
go
all the
to-
videos, O'Reilly videos?
I believe so. All right. So it looks like it's not on your guys' webpage. But
Oh
let
my
me go to Moorpark. I think it should work because you guys have a VCCD account. So maybe you just have to go through Moorpark's one. I'm not sure why we have it and you don't. But you just click here with O'Reilly Media, and it should prompt you to log in. And I don't know if it would matter. I hope not. That would be really unfortunate if you guys can't use O'Reilly. Okay,
Yeah,
computer, come on. And then we gotta wait for it to connect. And cool. And because I logged in recently, I think it kind of linked it up with it. But this is it. So give me a topic: language, system, something.
Polymorphism.
Oh, your favorite, huh? Polymorph. How do you even spell it? Polymorphism.
Morphism.
Polymorphism. All right. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know what that is, but here, Java programs with polymorphism. We can just click on it. And here's another one to C++. There's one down there. Here we go. Full textbook, 465 pages. Full textbook of Java. And, well, here we go.
Okay, so we have to go to the Moorpark website library. Is that correct?
I believe it works through there. We can. It didn't show up when I went to the Ventura one. I'm not sure why. But
Yeah,
if
I just walked along, and if you go to the Moorpark website, AZ, it totally works. I was able to sign in just fine.
awesome, that is good to know. Maybe Professor, you should talk to someone, see about why the Ventura website doesn't have it. Maybe you can
check with them.
Yeah, maybe you can see about that. But
Thank you. This is very helpful.
yeah, but yeah, I mean here's the whole textbook. So here's the table of contents and stuff, and just go to polymorphism. So here we go. Now we get to learn about polymorphism, and it's just it's a full-on textbook. So any other topics we can search through? Otherwise,
We can search for videos, please.
I think we can. Let me
Yeah.
see. There might be a filter,
Yeah,
explore.
because if they have videos, then it's gonna be excellent.
Yeah. Settings.
You can put it as resources in additional resources of courses that I have.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a filter, but maybe we can just look it up.
Okay, no
Let's just do
problem.
C++
Let me check it.
videos. Yeah, let's just do C++ videos. See what comes up.
Mm.
Oh, here. There's
Yeah,
there we go.
you know
Tab
how-
for
Yeah, okay.
videos right here.
They are there.
And it's a video. So if we click on this,
Perfect. Thank you.
yeah, video.
Yeah.
Let's
that's-
see what happens.
Welcome to the Before You Begin for C++20 Fundamentals. In these videos, I'm going to be creating, compiling as you go through, give you all of my personal contact information so that you can
Austin, we
ask
can
me
use this one for
questions
that's
directly as
class,
well.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it'd definitely be really great.
Throughout
Yeah.
these
Extra resources, yeah.
C++20 Fundamentals
Yeah.
live lessons
It's
videos
excellent,
are
yeah.
topics that I'll be presenting to you are
Let's
written about
find
in
something
our corresponding book,
interesting.
C++20 for Programmers, which you can learn more
They're
about on
pointers.
the Ditel.com website.
It's
link
difficult
that I've
topic, you
provided
know,
within
so-
the
Yeah.
top of this
Yeah,
slide.
we can
Now, as you work
It
through the
has-
videos, the
maybe
book
kinda
is
search.
not
Yeah.
required
Yeah.
to follow along with the videos.
Pointer in C++.
However, I do tend to say things in the videos that... Welcome to Lesson 7, Pointers in Modern C++.
Okay,
In the next
yeah.
video, by the way,
That's
I'll
just
explain
updated
why we have
direction.
the word
Yeah.
down.
I don't know how good the videos are, but
This
yeah,
lesson is
there's a lot of extra
In this lesson,
resources.
we'll be focused
Yeah.
on the types
So-
of
Yeah, that one is from Ditel and Ditel. It's excellent book, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just taking me.
For our next example,
All your resources are excellent, you know.
throughout these
Very good.
So yeah, I mean, there's all these other videos to check out too, but there's that, and then there's also one other pretty cool thing I kind of just found out when doing this. There's kind of this question answer type of thing. So just looking at one of these examples, we can just look up a question. So, does any of these look good to you? Which one, maybe? Maybe we can just do this. What does object-oriented programming do? So it'll search this question, and it returns quite a few results. So it returns this thing from one book where it talks about object-oriented programming in this book, or we can look at another one, and then so this was from a C++ book. This one's from a Java book, talking about it. And this one's just another. This one's from a video. I guess this is the subtitles are like the script to the video.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
that's a pretty
Excellent.
cool one. So you can kind of just ask it questions, and it will kind of do a search and search through all its whole database and try to like highlight and tell you something about an answer to that question. So if anyone has a question maybe on their mind, we can try it out and see how well it works. So.
Excellent. Thank you.
I guess we could just do like how to push with GitHub. I don't know if it'll have anything on GitHub, but
We can try
a little
it.
topical. Or something with GitHub.
I actually looked that up. So here, there's the book because it shows, I guess just some of the commands. So it shows that as a command, and it uploads commits to GitHub, and then you can scroll through here, right? You can click on this book, and I think if you hit learn more on this result, it'll take you to the book where it showed this result. So
So I guess you can kind of look at it like if you know one part and you're like, okay, I want to know other stuff about it, you can like search that.
yeah, and it'll take you. If it's like at the bottom of the textbook or whatever, it'll take you there. You don't have to look for it. It's just a bit more of a useful thing. And here, another one merging from GitHub. I think is from that same book. And it tells you all about that. So this is O'Reilly. I push it because once I learned about this, since then, I mention it to people. We talk about it, and people are like, "I've never heard of this." And teachers don't really talk about it either. So it's a very underutilized thing, and like I said, they have literally everything. So like that Python book. What did I say? Automating.
They are videos. If you scroll down a little bit, please.
Yeah,
think they,
yeah. Well, I was just gonna show this, but so here's this book, the Automate the Boring Stuff with Python.
Mhm.
It's a very popular book, and it's just right here for free on O'Reilly, and you can just go through the whole book,
Yeah.
table of contents, and everything.
Yeah.
So, so if we look up, a more general thing, there is the tabs up here. So there's books,
Mhm.
and then there's videos, audiobooks even. So if you want to drive and learn about C++,
Yeah. Object design. Okay. Very good.
yeah, and I mean that about covers it for some of the really useful things for researching or just Googling or
Yeah.
just trying to find information. Information wise, there's so much information out there, but it's really important to like know how to find exactly what you want or to find stuff similar to what you want or to find a whole book on what you want. So
The beauty of this one, because it's a reliable sources. But when you go to, for example,
Exactly.
YouTube, you don't know what you're gonna get. You have
Exactly,
to look at
exactly.
it. But here you are 100% sure. That it's reliable source.
Yeah.
Valid information, and that's the most important.
Exactly. Yeah. So and I think just all with that topic too is we use textbooks in class. So having this resources that's related to the stuff we even use in class, right? Being an actual textbook, you can maybe find some extra stuff that's really related to the classes, to other classes, right? Maybe, Blake is at a 4-year school or whatever university, whatever you want to call it. They use textbooks too, and maybe a similar textbook or even that exact textbook might be on here for you to use for free. You don't have to pay to or transfer
Yeah.
to go to that school to find the textbook to learn about it. So
Excellent. Thank you.
yeah, so
So hey, sorry, you got there from the MyVCCD portal?
no, so it was just the Moore Park homepage. It doesn't seem that you guys have it at the Ventura website. So I just went to the Moore Park just page, and then under academic programs here, you just go to the library, and then under databases, and then this has all those databases. So this one has the EBSCO Academic Search Complete. It has like the JSTOR with all those journals, articles, and stuff, and then in O, it has O'Reilly.
Perfect.
But yeah, I think your account should still be active with VCCD. So I think try it. Tell us if it still works.
I think it should work, but
Yeah.
you have to go through maybe Moore Park College library link.
Yeah. So you just have to go through here for now. Let's look at Boxnar and see if they have it. So let's see what they got in their databases.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a much different. Oh, they have even less than more or than you guys too. Here, let's see. Oh, Riley doesn't look like they have it.
I mean, that's super useful to know that we actually have access to all 3 of the databases and that they are different, because I've definitely looked for things before and not found it on at VC.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
also this is by design,
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they're gonna provide more resources. If Moore Park has it, so the other 2 colleges, sister colleges, can use that.
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely use it. I guess just I'm not sure why the websites show different things. So I guess just got to go through the Moore Park Library page here. But yeah, it's all there. You just it should prompt you to sign in with your account. And Blake, did you try it? Did you try it yet? Did it work?
Yeah, I'm looking at a whole list of cool stuff in here.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't even know if your VCCD account really expires. But maybe you can even use it throughout once you transfer through university or through whatever. Maybe you're at the company and you need a textbook or something or whatever. It's Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean that covers, researching some good information both through Googling, through databases, and through O'Reilly.